You were talking about your health condition. What exactly is wrong with you, sir?
I have congenital heart failure. Congestive heart failure is called. From the medication, you can tell. So they're basically trying to keep me alive. So when they calculate that I'm about to give up, that my heart's about to pack up, they will now say go. So when I go outside, I will die outside. That's what they're trying to do.
The medications they've been giving to you, has it not been working?
It's not working. If it's working, why would I have all these lumps underneath my...
And he has written a petition to the Nigerian Medical Association where they brought home quack doctor, somebody who's not a doctor,
to come and try and treat.
But up to now, they
don't know what they're doing. And they know they don't know what they're doing. Or else, why would I have this?
As long as it remains in case it's costed, I won't die.
That was Nnamdi Kanu, talking about his health. Before we continue with the major thing that brought us today, Kanu says a lot about his health. He says his potassium level is dangerously low, which is unrelated and could risk his heart failure. He mentioned congestal something. He claims his potassium continued to, fall despite treatment. According to his accounts, Kanu believes that instead of granting him proper medical treatment now, the authorities wants to delay until his condition worsens beyond recovery. He claims this is part of broader strategy to silence him permanently without the government appearing directly responsible. Now, moving swiftly to what brought us here today. Once again, welcome back to Igbo Perspectives, where we bring you undiluted analysis of the biggest political and legal stories shaping our nation, Nigeria, and beyond. Today, we turn to a development that has surprised many: the court case of Nnamdi Kanu. The ruling on his no-case submission, which was originally scheduled for October 10th, has now been, abridged and brought closer to late September. Now, remember the importance of this no-case submission. It is a day that determines whether Nnamdi Kanu stays and continue to, with his trial or not. It is a day that would determine if the judge would say, oh yeah, you did this, therefore face your trial. It is a day that possibly Nnamdi Kanu will be told, defend yourself. That is if it is not ruled out. Because in no case submission, there are a lot of expectations. Is that Nnamdi Kanu goes home or he continues his trial? Remember, we have a very big question of jurisdiction and a lot of questions, a lot of legal questions. So there is going to be a lot of expectations on this day. And like I said, this is the very first time such a shift has happened since his trial began. And it sparked plenty of questions. Why the sudden change? What should we expect in court? Could politics be, influencing the event and giving reports about his health, his deteriorating health? Could this even open the door to his release? Let's break it all down. First thing first, for years now, Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, has been in detention under the custody of the DSS. His case has been so long, controversial, and politically charged. Recently, his legal team filed a no-case submission. In simple terms, that means they are, arguing that the prosecution has not presented sufficient evidence enough for him to, stand trial before the, Federal High Court. The expectations was that the court would, give a ruling on 10th October, but suddenly the date has been pushed forward to September, I think 26 or thereabout. Now, why is this significant? Of course, because an abridged hearing date suggests urgency. It could mean the court will want to address both the no-case submission and other pending motions quickly, especially, applications concerning Kanu's deteriorating health and his request for a transfer to hospital. Now, speaking of that same health, just a few days ago, reports emerged that Nnamdi Kanu was so sick and needed urgent medical attention. His lawyers pressed for him to be moved, but that request was denied. This also has added even more tension to the proceedings. So the September date could be the court way of addressing, these intertwined matters in the legal and the humanitarian way. Let's talk about legal possibilities. On the no case submission, there are three main outcomes. Like I do say, first, the judge could uphold it fully, meaning the case is thrown out and Kanu walks free. That could be historic, but also unlikely given the sensitivity of the charges presented before the courts by, federal government. But then remember, it's not about pressing charges against somebody. It's about proving it beyond every reasonable doubt in the court. Secondly, the judge could reject it, which is the most, common outcome in high-profile cases like this. This means that the trial continues and Kanu must enter his defense. Then thirdly, the judge could, partly uphold it, striking out some counts while leaving others to continue. So these are the possibilities on the no case submission. Now, talking about Nnamdi Kanu's health, the court could order his transfer to a hospital for treatment or whatever, or in rare cases, it could grant him conditional bail on medical grounds. But remember, the DSS has been very firm in keeping him in their custody, and courts in Nigeria have been, historically been cautious in overriding state security on matters that tag national security or national interest or whatever. Now, the question many are asking is, could Nnamdi Kanu be released? Let's see. Legally, yes, it is within the court's powers. If the no case submission is upheld, he could be released. But politically, it is complicated to me. A release could, trigger celebration in some quarters and protests in others, and of course in Southeast. And the government may quickly, appeal such a decision to keep him in custody. Remember, on the other hand, if the court refuses the submission and the hospital transfer, and that could spark public outcry, especially given concerns about his health. So this brings us to the political undertone. For the very first time in this trial, the judiciary appears to be moving forward with unusual urgencies. Is there political talk behind scenes that we don't know about? Possibly the Nigerian state views Kanu not just as a defendant, but as a symbol of separatist agitation. So every legal move in his case carries political consequences, both domestically in the Southeast and internationally. So that means every ruling, every delay, and now every shifting schedules is closely watched by not just lawyers, but also political leaders, diplomats, and of course, his supporters. Now here, what should we expect the outcome on September? First, a ruling on the no case submission, likely either a rejection or partial acceptance. Secondly, a strong argument over his medical condition, of course with possible court orders for assessment or limited transfer. Thirdly, immediate reaction from both sides. If the ruling goes against the defense, a peace will fly. If it favors Kanu, the government will likely challenge it at a higher court. Number 4, and of course, the political temperature will rise. Protests, statements, and maybe even diplomatic commentary. Remember the state of Nnamdi Kanu. So we all are going to expect a lot of dramas on that day, because we don't even know the motive of this urgency. No one knows. So let's watch and see what happens. Now, in summary, the shift of Nnamdi Kanu's ruling date from 10th October to September is not just a change of calendar. It is a signal of urgency, a reflection of the tension between the law and politics, and a reminder that this case is far from ordinary. Whether the outcome is for his release, rejection, or something in between, Nigeria will feel the, ripple effect. Now, this is it, my audience, for today's breakdown. You've been watching Able Perspectives, the domain for unfiltered news and raw political analysis. If you found this video helpful, please leave a comment. As always, because like I do tell you, your comment is an individual perspective, and that is totally a democracy, and it's very, very much welcomed here. And subscribe for more undiluted analysis, just like this one. As always, we will keep bringing you the stories behind the headlines, what you cannot see in the corridor of the main media. Stay tuned, stay informed, and stay safe. And of course, thank you for watching.
When Nnamdi Kanu talked about the presence of Fulani Janjaweeds in Nigeria, we thought he was just singing. We thought he was saying something possibly born out of the hatred of the Northerners or the Fulanis by the Igbos. But it's now becoming clear, because I am telling you sincerely, it's only the powerful almighty Janjaweeds that can pull this thing that just happened recently in Katsina in regards to negotiating with bandits, leaving them with their weapons fully intact, and at the same time even coming to make demands for schools, markets, and the rest of it. That is to say, we're still talking about Ruga Settlement Part 2. That is just it. Sincerely. And I'm telling you, the way it looks now, it seems this Fulani Janjaweeds have Janjaweed clerics, Janjaweed politicians. And funny enough, it's not even just all about being a Muslim or Islam. The fact is, even if you are a Muslim or not, I am telling you, even if you are a Muslim, as long as you are not of the Janjaweed family, I am telling you that means you are not even a Muslim. Because the way it looks now, the Janjaweed family actually is all about the radical explanation or definition of Muslim Islam, the way they understand it. I am telling you. And that is why they are able to render havoc on even Muslims themselves. And if you think what we are saying is not true, in the midst of all this kidnapping, tell me Fulanis that have been kidnapped and that they have demanded ransom for. Or tell me how many Fulani communities have been ravaged with these same people. And what is the argument? The argument, the initial reason for these such actions in the first place was based on the fact that they were attacked. A lot of their people were attacked. And I'm telling you, on what basis? On the basis that they enter people's farm and they finish their crops, most especially houses that are known to be predominantly farmers. All of a sudden, and let me tell you another attribute of these Janjaweeds. As far as these Janjaweeds are concerned, I'm telling you at the moment they don't even have a country. When you allow these Janjaweeds to establish their empire in any state, I am telling you, they invite all other Janjaweeds from all parts of the world. Get me wrong. Get me right. I'm not saying that all the Fulanis are bad in nature, but I am telling you that it seems they are Janjaweeds and they are all about an agenda. And the earlier everybody comes to this come to term with this, the better for everybody. And to some certain extent, it may as well look as if the Janjaweeds happen to be even the people keeping this man in detention for long. Because having seen a lot he has said, he seems to be a person that knows so much, which is actually troubling to them. I am telling you, and nothing more. Well, I just hope Nigerians will wake up to this and realize that there are people that are bent on destabilizing this country and ensuring that it doesn't progress and it doesn't grow. All they are all about is establishing their kingdom of radicality that can be spread to the world. That is how it looks at the moment.
Well, I do not have much to say about this guy, but I believe he's been very vocal about Nnamdi Kanu and the Biafra cause. And surprisingly, he happened to come from the northern part of Nigeria. That is so shocking. I mean, it's hard to see a northerner to have an alignment in perspective to that of an easterner. It's kind of very, very strange. And believe me, this guy has been hinting it back to back, especially to the federal government and the nagging insecurity in Nigeria. I mean, I also do not believe that this guy is resident in Nigeria, because he has stepped out to say a lot of things that many fear to say. So all I can say to him is for him to continue, being bold in Nigeria is not an easy one. Activism, the real one, I'm talking about the real one, has not been easy in Nigeria. When you say PIM, you are picked up by the DSS. No one even waste time for that. But then he has been, continuously hinting on what he believes should be the way out. And believe in me, whatever he says, it's worth sharing, as always. I don't actually know his handle personally, but he has been doing it the raw way.